Dools.
As
It's 4 weeks into quarantine, but that does not stop entertainment news rolling in. Dwayne Johnson reveals that he could have been Jack Reacher. Matt Reeves confirms that the Batman is not an origin story, and the PS5 controller has been revealed. Dools, roll the intro.
woohoo! By the way, I listened to bits and pieces of the last couple episodes. Theme music, dude, good choice.
Thank you.
I know this was a change you made ages ago, but yeah, it's good music. Good little tune.
Thank you. It's better than the police siren.
Yeah, although yeah, it is. My dream was that because I could have sworn there was like a line in Observe and Report where it's like stop, more cops or some shit like that, and I looked up the script online because after a YouTube search, just couldn't find a single thing like a clip of Seth Rogen saying stop more cops or whatever, or more police. And so I was like, okay, fuck this. Like, I just got to look up the script of this movie and see if, they actually do say this. They don't say it once. They don't even say more police, more cops, more force. Not once. And it's like, that's so, like, the biggest missed opportunity. Despite that film being a lot of fun.
It's so demeaning. It's such a good movie, Observe and Report.
Yeah, it's fun.
It's such an underrated film.
And it's got it's just like, pretty like standard Seth Rogen comedy all the way through. Then there's some fucking bonkers sequence where it just follows him and Michael Pena doing heroin. It's like, what? What's happening? And they
do you remember the fight scene where the fight scene where he fights like 30 police officers?
Oh my god, it's insane.
Yeah, where he's just like, fucking come at me, pigs.
Yeah.
It's so good. On that note, Dools, welcome to another episode of the Mall Cops on Duty podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Harry. With me, of course, is the Chewbacca to my Han, Edward. Dools, Dooley. Dools, how you doing today?
I got the hair down, Has. For those of you at home who can't see, Has and I are on Google Hangouts, but the fucking beard, man. It is just...
It's looking good.
It's filthy, good, dude. It's fucking filthy. I mean, it's just that I don't give a fuck anymore, beard. I'm not going outside. Why not?
It just is what it is. Are you fully locked down? You only leaving for essentials?
Yeah, I'm only going out for groceries and shit. And fucking walking the dog, etc. I mean, that's all we can do, really.
Yeah,
so,
I agree.
Yeah. Are you going out for anything else?
No, like the last 2 weeks, the only times I've been out is just getting groceries. But like it's kind of good because you really save money on this, and like you find out how to completely ration your groceries.
Although I mean, yeah, for the fiscally responsible people, it's a great time to save money and just fucking like. I think travel. A lot of people think travel's fucked, and like a lot of like Virgin today, I think have just asked. They've just stopped trading or whatever, and they've stopped. They've asked that people stop buying shares or whatever, or they've asked the trade exchange to just stop like the ability for people to buy Virgin shares. So yeah, it's looking pretty bad for Virgin. But I think travel will rebound big time. I think people are just going to spend this time saving up. I don't know about the cruise industry. I got some wacky friends who are buying stock in cruise companies right now, like Carnival, and I'm like, that's insane. But you do you.
I'll buy that stock when it's like $1 a share, because right now it's like $30.
Yeah, but
because if it's $1, it's gonna go up from $1.
You look at it from this perspective. It's like people are sitting at home wishing they could get out and are not spending nearly as much money as they were. Like the people who are still employed, that is. And at least in Australia, people are on stimulus packages and things like that. But yeah, and dude, everyone's just going to want to fucking go somewhere and do something after this. I think it'll slowly begin to peak with domestic travel, and then we'll see international travel. Because I think this international travel ban could even last. I mean, I don't know, man. It could last until there's a vaccine. Honestly, an international travel ban. I think that's like
which it should though.
It should, but that just seems insane. I mean, it actually seems insane that it's just going to be a blanket ban on international travel for a year and a half, potentially. But
Well, that's what I'm saying, Dools. Save up and let's go to...
I know.
I don't know, probably not Comic-Con, but like, let's go to somewhere.
Let's go.
I was thinking
Yeah,
of
let's
TIFF.
just go to Disneyland and start licking the fucking handrails and everything. Let's just go fucking nuts.
I was thinking about going. I was thinking about this yesterday actually. Of like, I should start saving up for a trip, and I was like, me and Dools should go to TIFF, Toronto International Film Festival,
Ooh.
up in Canada.
But
That's where those big ass premieres are, Dools.
Yeah, fuck yeah, dude. Is that that and South by Southwest are probably the biggest ones in the States, aren't they?
Or South by Southwest will be fun. Yeah, absolutely.
Or
Well,
is
Toronto is in
Sundance still
Canada.
considered the biggest, or
No, well, the biggest will probably be around like Cannes in France and
Cannes?
Sundance.
Oh yeah,
up
but
in,
America-wise, North America and Canada specifically.
Then TIFF and
TIFF?
South by Southwest.
Okay,
South by
cool.
Southwest is more of a technology sort of festival, like than
Yeah.
just pure. Like it's got like music, entertainment, film, of course, games, everything. Like it's got everything. Which is
Yeah,
great.
it's
Like,
not
that'd be awesome.
necessarily independent either, because I think didn't Jordan Peele show Us there first or something?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
that's
and
and that was by no means a small movie, a small independent film.
yeah, I agree. Speaking of small and independent films, Dools, let's say that an average Joe wanders along this podcast and wonders what the fuck is the Mall Cops on Duty, Dools.
I wonder it every day. What would I tell him? I'd say, mate, use that old search machine engine thingamabob called Google, and it'll bring up a slew of results telling you that we are the number one podcast on the internet for films, TV, and games. See, we cover a wide variety and pandemic talk and coronavirus pandemic chatter. And, in that very niche category of all those topics, I think we're number one, honestly. And, look, you'll find us, and we recently have introduced a supplementary podcast on which will come out on the Fridays, and that'll cover a specific film, game, or show. And in the meantime, follow us on the socials: Instagram, Twitter. I think we're getting YouTube up and running. Haz is on that. Haz is on it. And I think
same
I
with
need
the
to
Instagram that's coming up and running. Dools is on that. Dools is
I think
on it.
I think Haz is taking care of uploading all the podcasts, which is an easy job. I have the monumental task of resizing an image, which I'm yet to do, but I will get to it. And I think remaking the logo is what I need to do. But I was meant to do that today. I'll set a reminder. Because that's something I'll just do during... That's just something I'll do during work hours, let's be honest.
Dools... Sorry? Yep,
so wait, what's this podcast about?
As Dools said, we are the number one podcast around film, gaming, and internet that the internet has ever seen. We post twice a week. Wednesdays, you'll get your fun-filled show with me and Edward Dools Dooley. And Friday, me and Dools will break out the review show. As he said, that we'll be breaking out either a film, game, or a television series that we've seen.
What can they look forward to this Friday?
Well, we've been holding off for a week and a half, but we have both seen Tiger King. We're waiting for that last episode to drop. It has dropped. It's not exactly a full-on episode, apparently, but we'll take what we get.
It's like
so
they got
So
they got Joel McHale to do an after show thing where pretty much everyone a part of the show, with the exception of Joe himself, because he's in prison, is kind of like on camera, and it's like a virtual conversation between everyone, and Joel McHale's kind of mediating. So that sounds fascinating. Oh, and I don't think Carol's in there though, just because it's like Jeff Lowe.
Because she killed her husband. Yeah.
It's like Jeff Lowe and a bunch of other people. So yeah.
Yeah, well, you cool cats and kittens. You got that to look forward to this Friday. But for right now, Dools, let's get down to business, all right? Yeah. So we like to start each and every episode with what we've been watching, what we've been playing. Do you want to start us off?
Sure thing, has dog. What have I been playing? Or what have I been watching? No, what have I been playing? What
a roller coaster this is.
Oh my god. I'm taking you all over. I'm taking on a setting grit. So I think I already mentioned I've played Resident Evil 3, right? I think I must have mentioned that.
Maybe.
So played and beaten Resident Evil 3. It's exceptional. I hope Paz gets on it soon, because that could we could possibly review it. And then, just because we have so much fucking time on our hands, I've also played and platinumed Control. And,
you platinumed it?
Yeah, platinum's not very hard at all. You only need to spend maybe a couple hours, if that, after beating the main game to platinum it. It's pretty easy plat. That was exceptional. It was so it's like it's pretty much like a double A game. You wouldn't say triple A just because these guys are a small studio, and this game was made on a pretty small budget, comparatively speaking, to other big titles. But really impressive. Like, not too long, but not too heavy-handed in the sense that it's like a single player campaign that respects your time and has a really strange but intriguing plot. And I thought it was really good. Like, in terms of the graphics department as well, apparently this game was it was making headlines because of this technology it was using called ray tracing, which I think has to do with lighting effects in games. And this, it's pretty incredible what it does at times. And the physics engine in it is crazy because there's a lot of, basically you have telekinetic powers and things like that. So shit is flying across the screen constantly. And even the PS4 Pro can struggle to keep up with it sometimes with the shit that's going on. Have you had that as well? I know you've been playing a little bit of lag here and there.
Yeah, here and there. Nothing that would downgrade the experience though.
Not terrible, yeah. But apparently it was almost unplayable on base PS4, which is why that's why I held off from getting it for a while. But so that is quite good. I recently watched another Studio Ghibli film, because I know, we did our Spirited Away review. I watched Howl's Moving Castle, which is just another, these movies, they're gorgeous and, they're charming and all that. But fuck, they're so weird. They're just so strange.
Yeah, they are weird.
It's
they are very weird.
The stories are ultimately about... Spirited Away is ultimately about Chihiro, a 9-year-old girl, being lost in some fantasy land and looking for her parents, whatever. It's surface level, that's the story. And this one, it's this girl is transformed into an old lady by a witch, and she needs to find her true love. So well, hold on. What classic fairy tale is that? Is that Snow White? Or is that... No. Snow White's she's not finding her true love. Is it Rapunzel? Oh, fuck me, I don't know.
What? Maleficent and...
Oh, turned into something by a witch and has to find her true love. I guess it's Fiona from Shrek or something.
Yeah, it's kind of like Fiona from Shrek.
But
it's Fiona from Shrek.
So, yeah, it's... Actually, it does feel quite similar to that in parts. Another really good... Christian Bale voices Hal, who is this magician who owns the castle. It's heaps random. And Billy Crystal voices this talking fireplace. So it's all right. But it's it's a lot of fun, very whimsical, all that shit. So,
you don't want to be watching those movies on acid.
Oh my god, no, I was baked and that was...
Baking those church candles.
Lighting
those church candles.
And finally has, not to prod on for too long, continuing with Westworld, and oh my god, dude, the most recent episode that came out yesterday, it's probably in the top 5 episodes of all time now for this show. It was exceptional. And I think IGN even
gave it a 10.
They're
trustworthy over there.
There's an action sequence in it that's just, insanely epic. And then there's but it's all happening simultaneously with this episode that Aaron Paul's character is having because he takes a certain drug, and it's kind of without giving too much away, he goes through certain stages of a film as if his mind was a film, and it's Act 1 is a different film. So each stage is a different genre of film, and I'm already giving too much away. But so I'm sure this will definitely have to be something we review. So I think it was episode 5. That was, so there'll be 5 more episodes. I think you're gonna have to watch season 2 sooner than later.
Guess I have to, but I got like no time on my hands. Like I'm doing stuff every day, and yeah, right. I'll get to it. That's fine,
Mate, because we're going to want to review this immediately when it finishes. So
yeah, that sounds good.
All right, yeah.
And
how about you?
And
mate?
you gave me a certain login as well, so thanks for that, Dools. Also, Dools, I'll just start off from playing. I played Shadow of the Colossus for the first time ever.
Oh wow!
Started it, finished it, couldn't stop, couldn't really put it down. I thought it was fucking fantastic. Like it was magnificent. It was such a beautiful game. It's incredible that the game is a remaster of a PS2 title. It's exactly
it looks
how
like
you
a native
described
PS4
it.
game.
Yeah, exactly. And you described it pretty perfectly. It's like boss fight the game, but like it's an experience the entire game, and I fell in love with it. I thought it was awesome. Thought it was so good. It's super cheap on PlayStation at the moment. 100% recommend it. It's just an absolute joy of a time. I watched 3 films that were always on my backlist that I needed to watch. I just never got around to them. Fracture. Do you remember Fracture with Anthony Hopkins and
that keeps popping up on
Ryan
Netflix
Gosling?
for me. Yeah.
Yeah, so Ryan Gosling plays a lawyer that's investigating Anthony Hopkins, who he's trying to like convict Anthony Hopkins, who obviously murdered his wife. Like at the beginning of the film is that.
Yep.
And Anthony Hopkins is just like an incredibly smart person that the whole point of the film is, even though he obviously did it, they can't prove it. Yeah, and it's all about the ways that the things that transpire. And
is it good? Is it a good movie?
I really liked it. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I thought it was really great. Yeah, loved it. I watched Hot Summer Nights, A24 film starring Timothy Chalamet and Maika Monroe. Love Maika Monroe, by the way. She's stunning. Timothy Chalamet is also... He's going to come up in a news story next, but like he's exceptional. Like I'm now a massive fan of this kid. I think he's awesome, and I'm going to watch every film that he's in. So I'm going to watch The King soon.
Sorry, who's this? Who's the girl you mentioned? The actress?
Maika Monroe. She's the main character out of It Follows.
Oh, her. Okay. Yep. Sweet.
Yeah, but Timothy Chalamet. So this whole film surrounds. It's the beginning of it's cliche, and they point it out in the movie. That it's this kid on summer break, and his mum sends him to live with his auntie in this like beachside town for this whole summer. And like she's like, "You're going to live with your auntie for the summer." He's like, "Wow, that's really cliche." But like when he gets there, he befriends this like jock sort of character that sells weed, and they basically start an enterprise of selling weed. Because he has this whole phrase, because he's like a thin little nerdy guy. He's like, everyone expects you, no one suspects me, no one even knows me. And he's like, that's exactly right. But there's this great line where like this guy's been basically selling for years of just selling dime bags to teenagers. He's just like, let's not change anything, because like that's how like, you know, it's worked for me for years. And Timothy Chalamet is just like, would you rather put the gas into the car or own the fucking gas company? And you're like, I like that kid. It's so good. But 100% recommend it. It's just a lot of fun. Hot Summer Nights Dools by A24. It's on Netflix. Loved it.
Awesome.
And
Yeah,
finally,
I was just about to ask if it's on Netflix, and it is.
Yep. Yeah, 100%. Put that in your queue. Finally, I watched Midnight in Paris. Have you seen this?
Yeah, years ago, I think.
Woody Allen film starring Owen Wilson.
Yeah.
Film's awesome. Like, I'm actually in love with this film. I can't stop thinking about it. I can't stop recommending it to people.
Can I tell you whose favorite film Midnight in Paris is?
Go ahead.
It's my mum's house. So I mean,
really?
Yeah. So I mean, that's the kind of taste
Mate,
you have.
she's got great taste. That woman. Good on her. But yeah, so the whole film surrounds a writer who's in Paris, and it's pretty, like fantastical that every night he travels back in time to 1920.
Pretty fantastical.
Fantastical. Liked that one, didn't you? I
Not
saw your
just
face when I
fantastic.
said that.
Not just fantastic, fantastical.
Yeah. Yeah, he travels back in time to 1920 to hang out with like icon artists around that time, like F. Scott Fitzgerald, who of course wrote Great Gatsby, Ernest Hemingway, who did The Man in the Sea, etc., etc. All these painters and stuff that he finds as well. It's fucking awesome, and there's so many great cameos everywhere. My favorite is Adrian Brody plays Salvador Dali. He's just in this cafe. He's just like, "Are you Salvador Dali?" He goes, "Dali, yeah." And he's like, it's awesome.
I have
It's
to watch
a
it again 'cause
fantastic
I can't
film.
really remember it.
It's so good. It's 90 minutes. It flies by, but it's awesome, and it really encapsulates Paris as a city. It's definitely Woody Allen's love story to Paris. But that's what I've been watching, Dools. That's what you've been watching. That's what we've both been playing. Let's get into the news of the week, Dools. Give me a jingle.
Fucking news of the week. Let's go.
Nice. Let's go. All right, Dools. A news story dropped a couple of weeks ago. We just missed it, but it's definitely a point to talk about. Rosario Dawson has reportedly been cast as Ahsoka Tano in Mandalorian Season 2.
Wowee. Wow. Yeah, so reportedly, I think a few reliable sources have pretty much said like, yeah, this is happening. Yeah, I mean, very cool. I mean, finally she's getting her dues, it would seem, this character. Because I guess, yeah, for anyone who doesn't know who Ahsoka Tano is, which I would imagine most people, she's one of the protagonists of the animated Star Wars series, The Clone Wars, and which is actually really good and not very kiddie as that might, it's definitely made for kids, like George Lucas established as much. But at the same time, like if you're a diehard Star Wars fan, there's a lot of like added lore and just like character development for Obi-Wan and Anakin, kind of like bridging that gap between episode 2 and 3. So from that perspective, like I think any diehard Star Wars fan would, find it, get a lot of enjoyment from watching it. But yeah, I mean, it'll be fascinating to see how they translate her character to the small screen.
Yeah,
or to live action.
It's definitely an answer to all the fans crying out as well.
Yeah.
I think it'll be great as well. I'm really excited for Season 2 of Mandalorian. I loved the first season. It had a couple of filler episodes, but as a whole, I thought it was awesome. I thought it was one of the best things that this new era of Star Wars has created.
I think I really enjoyed... Sorry to cut you off, but I really enjoyed The Mandalorian as well, Season 1. And I think it couldn't have come out at a better time because it made up for the other piece of shit Star Wars related property that came out at a similar time. So that's what I have to say about that. Rise of Skywalker, in case it wasn't fucking clear.
Star Wars fans are the worst. Alright. Dools,
did you know I tried to watch it? I tried to watch it again the other day, sorry.
You won't stop.
Dude, I made it like 20 minutes in. I was just like when Palpatine started trying to quickly explain like how he's been here in the first 5 minutes. It's like oh, this is just the worst writing. Like you're seriously disrespecting the intelligence of your audience here. Just like this sloppy plot hole ridden writing. Like I understand that we should be having fun first and foremost, but it's like how can anyone who respects decent writing and film think that this is okay? Think that what they just shut out on the floor is okay for a fucking movie? Like it's so infuriating. Like not just as a Star Wars fan, but as a fan of film. Like it's just so poorly made. Anyway, yeah. Well,
How do we repay you? Win the war. What a line. Such a good line, Dools. So well delivered.
Oh my God.
Speaking of fan casting, Dools, John Krasinski has given more fuel to the fire of the rumors of an MCU inclusion. So one's got to speculate one thing, that Mr. Fantastic out of the Fantastic Four.
Yeah, he's been like him and his wife Emily Blunt, which would just make getting to set very convenient. They would just carpool. It has been fan cast for so long, so I mean that would just be bizarre world if like it just came true. I mean like he would suit it perfectly. Like he meets the bill in terms of the look of the character. And same with his wife. So I mean, it would just.
And he's already likable so much.
And they're both like great actors and actresses. The two of them. So I mean, it would make sense, but it would also just be like at the same time like very strange. And I think it would go to a lot of people's heads that they could essentially start casting Marvel fucking characters, from the safety of their mouse and keyboard. So I mean, and then you can imagine just a very angry community when someone isn't cast right, or whatever it is, in their opinions. So, I mean, I don't know. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. I think it stemmed from the fact that John Krasinski teased that he might, explore a superhero role. I don't think he even said Marvel by name, but everyone just jumped to that conclusion, obviously. So we'll see it. But I mean, yeah, I think him and his wife Emily Blunt should definitely join the MCU at some stage. Regardless of what
that'd be the dream.
Yeah,
that'd be the dream, and they're both so loved already that they would just fit that Marvel family bill so perfectly. Dools, don't you reckon?
Couldn't agree more. Has
Dools, do you want to hear some wacky news?
Fucking give it to me.
Dwayne Johnson has told everybody, told the world that he got the Hobbs role because he lost out on Jack Reacher. Could you imagine Jack Reacher with The Rock?
That alternate reality is one I would love to entertain, but if it meant losing him as Hobbs, then I'm so glad that, the world took us in the direction it did. But that would be amazing. Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Because apparently the author of the Jack Reacher books isn't a fan of Tom Cruise's portrayal simply because he doesn't think Tom is tall enough. Yeah. So I think The Rock would definitely meet the bill in terms of, but at the same time, the dude's meant to be he's meant to be a bit taller and more built, yeah. But at the same time, he's a secret agent, and The Rock is the most, he's the most, I guess, non-inconspicuous looking person ever.
Yeah, so, he sticks out like a sore thumb.
Yeah, exactly. So he would, and I suspect that might have been why he didn't get the role. So, yeah, but no, that is Jack Reacher, really? Okay.
Could you imagine it? That'd be so... Fuck it, put him in Top Gun 2. They'll need to build a bigger fucking jet.
Dude, I think he could be legitimately dope. Because this franchise is getting into fast territory itself, but he could be a dope addition to the Mission Impossible franchise.
Yeah, he could. Yeah, he could be.
Villain turn ally or vice versa. So,
yeah, that'd be sick. That'd be awesome. Dools, speaking of villains,
here we go.
Matt Reeves has officially confirmed that the Batman is not an origin story. And I think that's awesome because we know it's a young Batman, of course, with Robert Pattinson. There was rumors that it was going to be another origin story, but we've seen it time and time again. We know exactly what happens. Parents die and he becomes Batman.
So I guess this is him just clarifying it, because I could have sworn that, maybe a year or so ago that, he was like, yeah, it's going to be set during he's been Batman for a little bit. He's still inexperienced, but he's been Batman for a little bit now. So I mean, this wasn't really new news for me, but I guess it's like that confirmation. But I kind of first read that as it'll skip over the origin story, because I mean that's like classic Batman movie material to quickly rehash the fucking Wayne parents being shot and killed
like what they
in the
did
alleyway.
in Batman vs Superman.
Yeah, I mean I would love it if Matt Reeves just completely ignored that And
yeah, that'd be cool because we know it. We know it. Like,
and
there's no fucking point.
Make it a sentence in passing. Like Alfred could be like, don't let your parents don't let them have died in vain or whatever. Just something like that. Similar to how in Spider-Man: Homecoming, it's like, one scene cuts to Pete and Ned walking along, and Peter's just like, it's just a spider bit me, and that was it. And it's like, but now it's dead. The spider's dead. All right, leave it alone, Ned. It's almost like them talking to the audience, like, we're not giving you another fucking origin story scene. So
it's like in Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, where it's just like, all right, here we go again. All right, this whole thing: spider bite, Ben dies.
Yeah.
And then you see like the little silhouette of him walking. He's like, great power comes great responsibility. And that was it. And they quickly go into.
They respected our time as. I appreciate it.
It's true. Speaking about not respecting time, Dools, I want to hear your honest opinion of this news that Vin Diesel has said that he's actually hinted at that the Last Witch Hunter 2 script is being worked on whilst in quarantine. What's your thoughts on that, Dools? What's your thoughts on the Last Witch Hunter 2? Does that film... It just needs a sequel.
Did you see the first one?
No. And I don't plan to.
Well, that's my point exactly. You see every fucking movie imaginable. And
it's true.
If you didn't see it, then I think that tells you all you need to know about the number of fans this first fucking movie has. Well, what's wrong with this guy? I mean, he's got a hyper profitable franchise in Fast and Furious. He just did. He's also part of Guardians of the Galaxy, so he's got his finger in Marvel's pie. But he still insists on doing this. Like, there was talk of him, of a soft Riddick reboot. I think people would much rather see that than The Last Witch Hunter 2. Yeah, I mean, Jesus God.
Apparently, Bloodshot that just dropped apparently is terrible. It looks bad.
There's something about him going for these cheap, boring fucking action movies. I mean, no offense to him. I like Vin Diesel a lot, but he's got no range. Like, none. Fucking none.
He doesn't know.
He plays the
Tell you
same
what,
way
though,
in every movie.
He was really good in Saving Private Ryan. That was it.
He's in there for like 5 minutes.
Yeah, it was a hell of a 5 minutes, though.
And didn't you... Oh, God, I don't know if I even want to be reminded of this, but didn't you even say they were looking at doing another Triple X?
Yeah.
Fuck me.
Yeah.
Like that, dude.
Yeah, they were... There was a...
Do you remember when fucking Ice Cube showed up at that final shootout? And we're just like, what the fuck is this?
Do you remember when he started the film on a telephone tower, jumped off it onto like the side of a mountain? No snow, but he was on like a snowboard or skis and just landed
down a fucking dirt mountain with no snow. Skied down it like it was the most perfect snow imaginable.
He didn't have any sleeves on though, Dools. That's what made him cool.
Oh my God, dude! Not only did I lose $40 from watching that fucking atrocity, I lost an enormous amount of brain cells.
Remember when he was on the dirt bike and he just assumed that it could ride on water, so he drove it out onto a wave and it rode?
Oh fuck!
That's so fucking dumb. Remember when fucking Neymar was in that movie?
Oh yeah, dude.
With Samuel Jackson.
I can't do it.
That's so bad. Oh, I've got nothing else on the list that's nearly that bad. Dools, let's go into something a bit better. Did you hear the new update on Ghost of Tsushima today? The new
I saw
samurai game from... Yeah, the new samurai game from Sucker Punch Studios that did Infamous, PlayStation exclusive. They said that there's going to be no waypoints in the game, Dools. Did you read that?
Yeah, I really appreciate it.
I love that. I think that's awesome.
I think
they're going to focus on... Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I think more games need to kind of, trust that, the audience are mature enough, smart enough to kind of experience this in games. And I hope it's a default. I hope it's not like an option in the game, because I mean this is an option in plenty of games where you can turn off the HUD or the mini map, whatever it is, and kind of like find your own way, things like that. I think the game, the most recent game that I can think of that came closest to this was, even though you could set waypoints, you couldn't really see a set path, which was I think Breath of the Wild. So I mean, you could set a little beacon. You could see a beacon from far away if you look through your binoculars or whatever it is, and you can kind of guide yourself that way. But it was more or less a lot of checking of the map and that kind of thing. But I love the idea that it's like you kind of like you have to learn your way around the world, and you'll get familiar enough with it that you see a specific landmark, and you'll be like, oh, okay, so I'm here, and I just got to go this way, and then I'll get to where I'm going. And I fucking love that, dude. I think that'll definitely add to the atmosphere, which is while there are clearly like supernatural elements and whatever video gaming elements, I think I think that kind of more realistic touch sounds awesome. I love it.
Yeah,
what do you
I think
think
it's awesome. I think it like forces it in the best way. It forces the player to really appreciate the surroundings. Rather than staring at a line that's directing them to an brightly coloured arrow. They like kind of like, what's the point of the environment that you're in then if you're just doing that?
Takes you out of it, yeah.
Yeah, so this is like, it would, it's just another step into the world of immersion. I think it's brilliant, and I really can't wait to play this game. I hope it comes out on time.
I can't wait either. Yeah, I'm really keen.
I think it's going to be good. Dools, do you want to talk a little bit about some Disney Plus?
Yeah.
Did you see the Disney Plus CGI'd out the butt in Splash?
So, I didn't realize.
Did you see the video?
Yeah, I saw the clip, yeah. It's fucking ridiculous.
It's so stupid.
I don't... so I didn't realize how stringent Disney's family, friendly, rules were around the content on their platform. So this completely rules out any mature content now. If they're gonna go so far as to go to old films and edit a fucking, edit some buttocks out has. I mean, if that's their play, then it's just like, well, no, there's no chance for any gritty, kind of like more mature Star Wars original content or Marvel, Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, Iron Fist. They could definitely not exist on the platform, which is a shame because I think we heard a couple months back rumors about Charlie Cox returning as Daredevil for Spider-Man 3, which would be amazing. But they would have to tone down his character big time. The gritty nature of his character and fit him into the MCU a bit more, which is fine. I mean, if it means keeping Charlie Cox, I'm totally happy with that. But yeah, so I mean, I don't know. Just I'm just ashamed that this closes the door entirely on any more adult content.
Yeah, I think it's stupid. I think it's like not trusting of the audience, and it's demeaning a bit, and I think it's just a colossal waste of time. But it looks so dumb, and it kind of it's like a slap in the face of the director or whoever directed Splash. I don't know off the top of my head, but it's a slap in their face because they're yeah.
Is it good?
It's fine.
What's it about?
It's fun. Yeah, it's fun. It's about a guy that meets a mermaid.
Great.
But now the new people that come to that movie, they're only going to remember that one bit, And it kind of tarnishes this image of this film that this art piece this guy's made. And
what happens?
Yeah, I think.
I mean, why couldn't they have just made it so that it cut to her? You just cut out that little bit where it's her running into the water, and you just Tom Cruise, then it cuts to her already in the water.
Yeah.
And instead they insert this weird fucking extra to make her hair look extra long, and it's just clearly it's so.
It looks like
fur.
Done. Yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah,
it's terrible. Dools. Kevin Smith came out and said he gave a reason. He explained.
Oh,
why MCU movies will not debut on Disney Plus during this quarantine time. Do you want to go into it?
Yeah, so I think he gave the very straightforward and expected answer of, well, it comes down to money. And, I mean, I've theorized that Marvel would actually see... Like, the thing is, you can't do it based on subscriptions. They already have Disney Plus, so, I mean, it's just like, well, you're not going to get... I mean, yeah, you'll probably get a few more in the way of new subscriptions, but I saw the other day that they surpassed 50 million users, which is unbelievable. Like, they're growing big time. But, yeah, so, I mean, in the way of new users and subscriptions, I'm sure you would see a significant uptick if you promoted enough that, yeah, Black Widow, day and day at Disney Plus, the next chapter in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, that kind of thing. But at the same time, I think if you make it even... So I think maybe Disney Plus members can watch it early for a small fee. So I think, new users can jump on, pay $19.99. Existing can pay $9.99, that kind of thing. And obviously the goal being that you have to, if you wanted that cheaper price, you got to sign up. And I think you forego a free trial or whatever in that case, so you got to pay up front. I mean, I just would imagine with everyone being home and it being a Marvel movie that, I mean, that's directly into Disney and Marvel's pockets. You're removing the middleman that are the cinemas. I don't know, maybe I'm missing something here, but and plus gone is all the extra money spent on marketing, which apparently can sometimes account for half of the movie's budget. So, yeah, there's still going to be marketing, but it's all going to be digital. I mean, there's no more need for outdoor marketing, so, I mean, that's a somewhat significant chunk of the budget. I don't know, man. I kind of think, I think they make more money on the back end. I think it would be a more profitable venture. Maybe I'm missing something, but it's just no more cinema, less marketing expenses. I don't know. For me, that just seems like if profit is purely their motive, I think it's also that they like dominating headlines with the big cinematic release and just being like, oh, box office budget record broken, like whether it's the fastest pre-order sellout or whatever the fuck, or biggest grossing domestic weekend. I think that's what they love as well. But I don't know. I mean, do you think they would make more money from it, or am I just fucking imagining things?
I don't think they'll make more money for it. No. If they put it out for $20 that you have to buy it, there is no way in hell that as many people that would see the movie for $20 in the cinema are going to buy it online for $20.
Yeah.
Think about like we would have gone and seen the movie way back, right? And we would have definitely gone and seen that in the cinema. But the other day we're like, hey, let's find a way where we can halve that.
If this was Avengers Endgame, you're damn fucking sure people would pay for it the second it comes
Not
out.
as many people as they're going to the cinema, no.
You really don't think so?
No,
everyone's at home.
I would put every cent that I own that if Avengers Endgame opened on just digital, $20 to buy it.
So you don't think people are more willing to press a button in their living room than go all the way out to a cinema and see a movie?
Correct, yes.
Yeah, I don't know if I agree with that, man. I mean, I think the fact that there's even before all this shit has gone down, there were always stories about how streaming was dominating cinemas, and streaming was just on the uptick, and cinema revenue was just on the decline or whatever. Generally speaking, I understand that 2019 was one of the biggest years for theatrical releases, but generally speaking, not all cinemas are doing great. So, I don't know, man. Yeah.
When's the last time that you bought a film bought a film online?
Well, I know where you're going with this, and it's definitely a different scenario, because this is about paying to see it day and date. And if I'm paying the same amount that I would to see it in cinemas, then I'll make that trade-off if I really want to see it.
I absolutely agree. If you really want to see it. But there is so many times, you got to think about a family going to see Avengers, they'd pay $5, 5 tickets, right? 5 times 20. When on at home, they just pay that one fee, $20. There's $80 gone.
Yeah, I get you.
Think about it like that. Like couples and stuff, they're paying half.
Yeah. Yeah. But at the same time, I think that's why it's going to be $19.99. I don't like you very rarely you paying that much for a movie ticket in the US. I think it's like half that. So I think they will kind of make up for that a little bit. And yeah, I mean, no, I don't know. Yeah, I think you're probably right. I think I'm probably missing a few factors, but I still think it would be a hugely profitable.
Oh, it would be, yeah, but I don't think they'll make anywhere near the amount that they would now. But
yeah.
But again, as you're alluding to, waiting is a risk as well.
Well, the whole kind of like Marvel calendar now has been pushed back as a result. So I think, which sucks, but yeah. So we're getting everything a little bit later than we originally would have, and but I think that's just I don't know whether we'll see more downstream effects as a result of that. Who knows? But yeah. No, I think you're probably right. I think I was probably neglecting to consider families and all the lost all the lost revenue there. But at the same time, man, you would slash marketing budgets and you're getting rid of the fees that cinemas take. So I mean, it would be such a fascinating experiment to see a studio as big as Marvel take a gamble on Black Widow, which I think is perfectly fine, reasonable film to do it with as well. Like, I mean, it's Black Widow. She's dead. So...
whoa, spoilers, dude. I'm halfway through Endgame.
So, it's not like... you wouldn't want to do it with the Eternals, which, I think they've been making a big deal about, it's filmed in IMAX and it's, huge budget and spacefaring, whatever the fuck. So, that would be a shame to make it direct to video, but Black Widow, I mean, I think it's like literally the perfect one to do this experiment with, and yeah. I
kind of don't want to do it though. Like, I'd love to see it tomorrow, and I'd pay $40 to see it at home. Right?
Look,
because we're that minority.
There's no doubt that there's like an aura around direct video that it like cheapens it a little bit. So I know what you mean.
Yeah, but like sending Scarlett Johansson off like this when she's been around since 2000 and like. What was Iron Man 2? 2010? 2010, 2011?
2010, yep.
Like, that kind of is like a slap in the face a bit. She's been here for a decade. She's been in this character for a decade. She's had, fucking heaps of films. Every Avengers that's 4, then Iron Man 2. Like, she's had heaps. But, like, it kind of, like... I don't know, I just don't want that to happen just for Scarlett, Like, I feel like she deserves more.
I hope she hears this, bro.
She does. She writes in, her and Timo. By the way, I reckon we should get Timo on the show for episode 50. Just putting that out there. Putting that out there for you, Dools. Hook, line, and sinker. But, Dools, we've got 2 more pieces of the news to get through. And then we can skate out of here and play some Warzone. Speaking of Warzone, Dools, might be playing that on PS5 with the new PS5 controller that has just been revealed.
The Dual Sense. Because you're going to use 2 sensors to take full advantage of it. Has the old hearing sense and the old feeling sense. Is that a sense? Is that one of the senses? Touch,
yeah.
Yep. So
smell, taste, hearing, sight, touch. Yeah, 5.
So, yeah, the DualSense. What are your initial thoughts on the design? The look
looks very Blade Runner-y. I think it looks cool. I had a discussion with one fan of the show, J-Dog, about it. He doesn't like the white. He thinks that the white is very un-Sony, but if he paid attention to the designs of PlayStations in the last 5 years, you'd see that they've gone towards the colour white rather than black. See that in PS Pro. PS Pro's main colour is white.
Its main colour is white? Because I recall when they showed it off, I think they showed a black PS4 Pro when they announced it.
Like, PS4 Pros now are almost all white.
I mean, mine's black.
so they're veering away from just the black color of because they want to. I think they want to stand out from Xbox, of course. And it kind of makes sense. So I like the look of it. I think it looks cool. I think it looks different, but different but still the same. Does that make sense? It looks like a future console trailer. It's future controller. Sorry.
Yeah, I agree. So I mean, I'm similar to J-Dog in the sense that I was a little thrown off when I first saw it. I was like, "Oh, what's this?" But I mean, it really doesn't look too different from the DualShock 4. I mean, it's just the it's still got a touchpad in the middle, and buttons and sticks are exactly in the same spot as they were. I think it's like it's got more of a curve to it, more of a curvature in its design. And I think I was just thrown off by the white as well at first. Because I immediately saw some photoshopped recolored images of it where it's like all black or maybe like a more traditional grey original PlayStation color scheme, and I was like, oh yeah, this looks fucking awesome. So I think the design I love and I think is really cool. It's just I hope there will be different colors to choose from at the start, just because I'm not fully sold.
I'm sure they will.
Yeah. I think an all black would look good, or a dark blue or something like that. So but what's interesting about it is that, I mean, that tells me that I think your inkling is right about them veering towards white, because the controller will often, because let's just put it this way, it would be weird if they put out a white controller with a black console. This tells me PS5 is white, and
my spidey sense is tingling.
Top white, and then bit of black on the base or whatever, similar to how.
Or like a top deck.
Exactly. And
nice.
So yeah, I'm very intrigued. I mean, I can't wait till we see the box. I mean, I know, in the grand scheme of things, the box itself is so meaningless. We're gonna once we open it, we're like, oh my god, it's here. We look at the box, we appreciate it for a second, then it's just gonna be all about the games. Just fucking give me the games. But it's always still cool getting to see a new box and what it looks like. So I don't, but yeah, who knows whether these things still come out at the end of the year. They're doubling down still saying it will come out. And, I mean...
They are indeed.
I'd love to be a fly on the wall at Sony and Microsoft and hear how they're rationalising releasing a console into essentially what is a depression. But we will see.
We will see indeed, Dools. But another thing that has doubled down to say that they're definitely coming out December is Denis Villeneuve's Dune.
Oh.
I know, Dolls. I know. New image got released, and the logo was revealed. Not released. Sorry, Dolls. Revealed today. Logo looks cool, and the new image of one Timothée Chalamet, unreal. I like this kid a lot. I'm a big fan of him.
I'm already getting.
I think he's going
to
go places.
getting 2049 vibes from it in terms of aesthetic and cinematography. So I mean, but Denis Villeneuve, he owned Blade Runner 2049. It was a sequel, but he owned that film. It was a Denis Villeneuve film. And
we just went on a ride there. Villeneuve.
So yeah, I mean, dude, I can't wait for this movie. I know next to nothing about Dune, and I was tempted to watch the fucking David Lynch adaptation. But at the same time, I was like, no, I want to go. I want to watch, this new one without knowing a goddamn thing. And then I can go back and watch that film and maybe even read the book. But no, I really, because I don't want to go into these things with expectations. Any expectations, other than I've seen this director's body of work. He's one of my favorite directors now, and I
think he's one of the best, if not the best, working director right now. He hasn't missed.
I mean, yeah, he hasn't missed a beat. I mean, he's killing it. I love his films. They're just visually stunning and gripping with intense drama and great performances. So, and the cast for this is just fucked up, dude. A few actors to mention. So we obviously see Timothée Chalamet featured in this image. You got Josh Brolin, Oscar Isaac, Javier Bardem. Fucking who else? Another big
I'm
name
looking it
actor.
up. I'm looking it up.
Um,
Your Rebecca Ferguson.
Yes,
Is Josh
Mission
Brolin in
Impossible.
this? Yeah, he is. Good work. You got Rebecca Ferguson, Timothy Chalamet, Zendaya, Jason Momoa, Oscar Isaac,
Oh my
Stellan Skarsgård, Dave Bautista, Javier Bardem, as you
Yep.
said, Josh Brolin, David. I'm gonna fuck up this name.
Decimal.
Sorry.
Desdemona.
Yeah.
Desdemoni.
Jesus. Charlotte Rampling as well.
Dude, stacked. Just a
Huge
stacked
cast. Huge. Trust him. It's weird.
Yeah.
Trust him.
This film's been in production for so long as well. I'm pretty sure they wrapped filming like a year ago, so it's just been in post for a long time. Maybe not a year, but like mid last year, I think actually. So it has just been. It's been in post for a good while, and because it always had this December release date, so it hasn't been pushed back or anything. But man, what a way that would be to reopen cinemas with a film like Dune.
Be huge. Dune and Top Gun 2, because Top Gun 2 is now coming out in December.
Fuck. Oh man,
dude, Top Gun 2 is gonna print money.
I gotta watch Top Gun. I still gotta watch Top Gun. I've got all the time.
Oh, it's so good. Playing with the boys. Still sign us off.
Has this has been another installment, another entry in the pantheon of More Cops and G podcast. This has been
what number podcast is this, Stalls?
Oh, it's it's 40.
Yeah.
Is it?
You got it right.
I knew that. I knew it was 40.
Your face just lit up. Is it?
Number 40. So we're boys and girls, we're how far away? We're 5 weeks away from episode 50. So that'll be a big one. I'm sure, we'll get Timo in. Scarlett Johansson apparently listens in, so I'm sure we can get a hold of her somehow. Has personally assured me that he will get Scarlett Johansson on the line. And if he doesn't, well, then he's just a piece of shit who just, who doesn't respect you or anyone you care about. So that's that. So, I mean, just remember that. Specifically remember that about Harry and the kind of person he is if he doesn't follow through on his promise. Having said that, I'm Dools, you're Haz, and we're the More Cops. See you later.
They can find us every week, Wednesday for our main show, Friday for our review show on all your favorite podcasting services. We're trying to get you up onto YouTube. We're hitting some barriers. We'll fucking find a way. We've got the time. We'll find a way. But as Dools said, we are the More Cops on Duty. You are you. We're off duty.